Okay, we are going live here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Online Growth Systems Dick Polipnik Show live stream. Today is Monday, May the 4th. Be with you. Today we have on the stream one of our team members at Online Growth Systems, Adam Lofquist. Adam, you want to say hello?
Hi.
Awesome. So Adam he's a marketing specialist here at Online Growth Systems. You can kind of see our logo a little bit everywhere in the background. Today, the theme is the roast of social media. So just like Comedy Central, we are going to be screen sharing some small giants, some local Minneapolis, St. Paul area businesses, as well as Fortune 500, Fortune 10 companies that are doing a really great job at social media right now, and some that are just, frankly, they just need to be roasted. Adam, what do you think?
I have a lot of thoughts.
As a part-time comedian, which is going to be perfect.
No one shows up to my shows, but now at least I have an excuse of no one can go outside. That's what they tell me, at least.
That's right. And the live stream will force people to listen to you. I mean,
exactly.
They could just mute you, but then they get to miss out on me, and that's just a shame.
So. I know. Yes.
Okay, so we're actually going to dive into one that's doing just a really like a montage here on YouTube. We're going to share my screen here of one that's doing what Adam and I think is just to be a comedic start. So let me share my screen here. Okay. So you can see here, I've got YouTube pulled up, and we're just gonna, I'm not sure if the audio is gonna work here on the live stream if I'm sharing my screen, but we're gonna click play. And this is a montage of every COVID-19 commercial is exactly the same. It's got 1.2 million views. It's only 2 weeks old. And it's been, it's shared by just some small channel. They had, I don't even know what they had before this video, probably less than 1,000 subscribers. And this is just an example of a viral piece of content that this individual, Microsoft Sam, has made, which from his perspective was brilliant. You know what I mean? It got him a lot of attention, probably quintupled his subscribers, definitely got him a lot of views. I mean, if you look at that ratio, it's unbelievable. It's got a ton of shares. It's got the like to dislike thing is almost immeasurable. You can't even see the dislike measurement. But we're going to watch this because Sam did a great job of making this piece of content. And it's also roasting some of the world's best known brands and what they're doing right now. So let's click play. Somber piano music plays. Adam, can you hear that?
I'm not hearing anything right now.
Okay. Pretty much this is literally just one piano song after another. And to kind of skip through, right now there's somebody humming. Okay. Some good old soul music here, more piano music. It's showing all the big brands, Lincoln, Nationwide, Little Caesars. And pretty much what they're doing is they're saying, we've been around since the dawn of time. You know? Right. Adam, what's your take on this video? You're the one who actually found it.
I wanted to either drink heavily or just go into my room and eat a bunch of Haagen-Dazs, which is, I normally do that. But right. So it's even like so honestly, I cannot get through this whole thing without cringing.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like,
well, it just, when this Microsoft Sam put it together, it makes you realize how cookie cutter all the content is. And this is something that these are what the big brands are doing because they have such strict guidelines, and their PR department is really pushing them to play it safe. You know what I mean? I mean, all these are big companies, but what's really funny is it's literally almost word for word the exact same script.
Yeah.
I thought he was flicking us off there for a second. Like, wow,
he heard.
Yeah. Hey, now, yeah. But this is, if you haven't seen it, we'll link it up in the description after the show here.
Yeah.
But it's something that's worth a watch to see of what not to do. Because you're going to be seen like everybody else. You're not going to stand out from your competition unless you're this individual who you make something funny out of it. You can combine it, and then it's going to get it's going to hit virality, right? So
and I think the bigger thing you won't stand out. And I think right now during this time, what so many people want is to know that brands are there for them and have we always talk about authenticity with brands.
Yes.
None of this is authentic anymore because if like you say that you care for people and then the next line out of your mouth is come buy something from us, that's not caring about someone. That's wanting them to buy, like manipulating them to buy something from you. And
Right.
like people are not that dumb. Like I don't know why people thought that would work. It's crazy to me.
Right. And it's striking that balance between what I would say is like the capitalist incentive of, you know, obviously you want commerce to happen and you want to stay in business so you can keep your employees paid and fed and whatever. But it's striking that balance, like what you're saying, of being authentic, but then also not trying to use coronavirus or the economic situation or whatever the crisis is that you want to call it right now to manipulate customers into transacting with you, right?
Yes,
you want to be upfront and honest, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So speaking of being upfront and honest and candid, I want to share the screen again here and showcase, this individual. Adam, have you seen this yet?
I have not. What is this?
Let me zoom in here. So I literally to prep for the live stream today, I was like, you know, I was actively looking up. I was like, I want something that's like literally relevant today, like right now.
Yeah.
This is a live stream, right? So I went to the trending. I went to Explore tab in Twitter. I went to trending, and I saw this Grim Reaper is pretty articulate when it comes to its opinion on public health and coronavirus. And pretty much, Florida opened up their public beaches to the public, and this man is an attorney. He's he practices law, like he has a law practice, and he dressed up as the Grim Reaper and went on ABC and gave his opinion of why he thinks it's a mistake to open up the beaches right now. And obviously he's not trying to advertise his law practice, but what happened is through this radical candor of him being, like you said, transparent, open, honest, and you know, not trying to manipulate people. You know, he was trying to make a point, and it actually, you know, he's trying to make a very serious point, obviously, because he's dressing up as a Grim Reaper. He thinks lives are at stake. But obviously there's a comedic piece too with that.
Yeah.
You know, this is hilarious, right? And it gets people's attention. It works. And I have no doubt that people are Googling, you know, Daniel Ulfender, whatever his last name.
I think the big reason is that the Grim Reaper is easier to say than his last name. That's just
right. Right, Mr. Reaper. But the video here is just hilarious. Like, I'll mute it here. But he's just some regular dude. Like, he doesn't come onto the microphone and he's like, you know, I'm gonna, you know, crypt keeper. You know, he's just like, hey, my name's Daniel, and you know, like totally not what you'd expect.
Yeah.
The handoff is especially funny between the reporter and him, because obviously they don't want to touch too much. But where's the handoff? You got to see it. It's hilarious. It's almost like she's afraid, you know, like, there you go. Yeah. Backs off. And he steps into frame. But look at this thing. This guy, I don't know who Adam is, but well, apparently he's verified. Maybe he's a big deal. But he's got 10 million views here. And this is just one guy sharing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of likes across different people, especially those who are active in Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just unreal. But yeah, so this is an example of a piece of content that has hit virality here within 4 days. 4 days, it's got 10 million views. Do you know how much money you have to pay for advertising to reach 10 million people? Right? Like, Adam, you do a lot of Twitter ads, right? So what's the average? How many dollars do you spend to get 1,000 impressions? Just give me a rough ballpark.
For us, it's like around, let's see, what do we do?
I mean, it differs from, or it's different from client to client, but just give like a total ballpark.
For 1,000 views, we probably pay around $1,000.
Right? So like $1 per view if you're going for super targeted, high conversion, right?
Exactly.
So Otherwise, I mean, on Facebook, you can get like a penny per view, right? If you're going for virality. So let's use kind of like a middle ground of like 50 cents if you're going for like half virality, half like super targeted high conversion rate, right? So let's say that we're 50 cents here, 10 million, cut in half. That's $5 million worth of advertising here that this attorney is getting. $5 million worth of ads or worth of exposure, right? And not to say that all 10 million of those are obviously qualified leads or prospects for this attorney, but even if a 0.1% of those human beings are eligible or potential clients, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
So $5 billion worth of exposure, you can't go wrong. So I just wanted to share that because I thought that was so funny.
That's awesome.
Another great example of a company that's doing it right here. This is my LinkedIn. Is Brian Ingram from actually a local here from Minneapolis, St. Paul area here in Minnesota. He's a semi-celebrity chef. You can see him there with Guy. And he actually doesn't have the restaurant that I'm particularly talking about is called Hope Breakfast Bar, and they don't have an they don't have a presence on LinkedIn for that business, but Brian sure does. And he has just been getting phenomenal exposure, phenomenal. And partly is because and we've talked about this on past live streams, Adam, but Brian and his wife, Sarah, pivoted their business from being a total 100%, for-profit restaurant to being a hybrid of a community kitchen, right? They were making thousands and thousands of meals a day for families in need for free, taking donations for meals or money or whatever, or people volunteering, delivering these meals. And that pivot got them a ton of PR exposure, and they were featured on the news, and they've been featured in publications. They've been absolutely everywhere on social media, and people, getting featured all over the place. And the amount of brand awareness that literally the building is an old firehouse. It's an old firefighter station. Like there's like the fire pole is still in there. It's very cool. It's retrofitted. They remodeled it. That's Sarah, I believe. They have received unbelievable amounts of attention and brand awareness from, their little corner slice of heaven in downtown St. Paul. Yeah. And I have no doubt that once they start opening back up for, taking reservations again, that they are just going to be booked solid, you know what I mean? From front to start. I mean, these are all pictures of them cooking for the community, you know what I mean? And it's gourmet food too. It's not like, the schlop from, high school here. This is like, this guy's a celebrity chef. You know what I mean? Look at that food.
Yeah. Awesome.
So what are your thoughts here on Hope Breakfast Bar? Have you ever eaten there, Adam?
I have not. I want to. I think they will launch relatively soon, right before everything happened, right?
Probably within a year for sure.
Okay.
6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, so I really like this. I think it's a very long-term focus.
Yes.
And it's I think another thing that people get tired of is a lot of lip service from companies saying that they do something great, but not actually showing that they do anything great.
Yeah.
And just as proving to people or showing people what you're doing, and not in a very for lack of a better term, arrogant way, is what people want to see, and not be no company's even beyond we're just gonna take all your money and not help you out. No one's gonna say that. So yeah,
well, I think what's making Brian and Sarah and Hope Breakfast Bar stand out is they are so authentic. To echo what you were saying a couple minutes ago, they actually have expressed to the news that they will keep doing this and they'll keep making food for families until they go out of business, until they go bankrupt. They are 110% committed to doing the right thing and putting others first. You know what I mean? It's like he heard me. He looked at me. What? Yeah. But so they are 100% focused on. Well, frankly, it's not even their customer. It's just the community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's paying dividends for them 100 times over. 100,
Yeah.
and they're not doing this for PR. They're not doing it for marketing. They're not doing it for exposure. But that's a secondary benefit that they are getting because of their first intention, which is helping people, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that brings up a good point of like it's okay to get PR from something that you meant to do and have well intentions for it, but it's not okay like right now to go and do something strictly for PR and for that good press because people are going to catch on to it. I think that's the biggest
Right.
difference is like you can't just fake it just to get because people are going to see through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Authenticity, right? Authenticity. So, let's see what's next here. Showed that. I would like to feature this beautiful post here. Adam, why don't you cover this one?
Yeah, so I think I wrote that. Well, I wrote that one for Dick and I are both part of Founders Live. I mean, just like playing off of what's going on right now, but not in like a really serious like something serious.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously everyone knows that they can't go to live events, at least in Minnesota, and just like trying to incorporate some comedy into it with somebody that's really well known, so you can tie that to the person like to their memory. Obviously, the Titanic. Just in case no one's watched it, the boat sinks at the end. Just hopefully no one's too surprised by that.
You spoiled it.
I'm sorry. I know you've been waiting since '97 to watch it, so I apologize that you spent that much time.
I'm waiting for the sequel to come out, yeah, so I can watch them back to back.
Yeah, but I think it's just find very unique and funny, like fun ways to engage people. Because I think, like from my perspective, that's what a lot of people need right now is something that's gonna lighten the mood. But don't lighten the mood like at what's at like the serious things that are happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not every and we should echo too that not every brand has to use a comedic spin to get exposure right now. You know what I mean? So just some of the ones that we were showcasing, we're a little bit more on the comedic side, but there are brands like Clorox is doing a great job of, and partly is because they just have been making so much freaking money, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they're advertising in a way that's not too gimmicky, like that, like all those car companies are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that we showed the montage of earlier, but they're also not leaning too much on the funny side of like, the Grim Reaper at the beach or or the Titanic scene, right? There's also the serious note, so there's like kind of two different ends of the spectrum, right? So there's like the Grim Reaper at the beach, but that's also got a serious tone. But then there's like Hope Breakfast Bar, who are really putting community first, doing a great job there, right? And then there's the companies like Clorox that are doing it, striking that balance between not totally jumping on the COVID-19 bandwagon, milking that, but also not going too far to the other side where they lose trust and they lose that brand authority, where they're trying to be funny in a time where people are scared, right? Or whether that's for their careers or their families or for their health, and it's striking that balance between the two.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like another one that I think is really doing a great job is Amazon. So obviously they probably have seen a huge uptick in their services, and especially Amazon Prime. But what I really like about theirs is they don't, like, a big thing with marketing is to not make your brand the hero, make your customer the hero. And the most recent advertisements is like you have this little girl who's drawing on the sidewalk with chalk a rainbow and it says thank you, and it's clearly like that she's the hero in it. And then you see this delivery a guy come in and drop off the package, and it's a really cute interaction and a very heartfelt interaction. And they don't tell you to buy anything, they don't tell you to go and use them, but Amazon is clearly the person who's running that ad. So I think that's making the customer the hero, and you don't always need to be out front telling people to buy from you. People will see it in the right way.
Let's showcase it. So this is Amazon's Instagram page. You tell me if I'm on the right track here. But
It was a video. So I tried to find it and see if it was. I think. Oh, it's right in the middle. The girl with the dress. Go up.
Right
Right.
here.
Yeah, there.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah.
So they've got the song "This Little Light of Mine." I'm gonna let it shine song playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He stepped on it.
I think
What a jerk.
But you can see, like, even the amount of time that she was featured based off versus the Amazon person
Yeah.
was disproportionate. And I think like that's a big thing. Like, so many brands just want to be up in your face all the time and think that it's the amount of time that you're
Yes.
with someone, but it's actually like what is a message and kind of what is the context behind it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I really like that. That's a great observation. Of they were putting they're kind of echoing the rainbow there again too.
Yeah.
And as if everybody knows, the rainbow is like it's showing support for, like it's saying, doctors, nurses, everyone coming out to the front line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone staying at home, communities, and it's like showing your support, during the pandemic. There's more of the rainbow, right? And I've yet to see. Okay, we've got one Amazon product, two Amazon products. Otherwise, it's like 50-50 ratio of customers and support for, and you know what I mean? It's a 50-50 ratio of products and branding versus support, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
versus so many companies are doing the opposite. They're doing, 90% of themselves, right?
Pull up Toyota's account because there is one that comes to my mind right away of one that's horrible because like their commercial is like, "Hi, I'm Jan from Toyota, and I want to let you know that we're all here for you during this difficult time." And then,
on Instagram
on Instagram, yeah. And by the way, come buy stuff from us. Like,
yeah. First of all, there hasn't been a single post without a car.
I know. I'm like, there's nothing. There's nothing.
We've got one. There we go.
How far to town do you have to go?
I've been scrolling for like, what, a minute now? Yeah. One post so far without a car.
Yeah.
Which is obviously they're in the car business.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But best practices, I haven't seen a customer yet.
Yeah.
A silhouette of a customer. I haven't seen one thing, one rainbow, one kind of community paying it forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Look at this.
I know.
We're at one post so far without a car. That's a cool photo.
Yeah.
Just crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and you can tell that their engagement is much lower than the other brands that we've been looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And they should be able to play toe to toe with Amazons of the world. If anything, Toyota should be ahead of the game on their social presence because, what can Amazon post that, besides maybe like Amazon Video, if there's like really big fans and advocates for like, Carnival Row or one of their TV shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Ryan or something. But there's a lot of car enthusiasts and there's a lot of people who are diehard,
exactly.
Auto fans.
Yeah. So, and I think like even looking at like the number, like just the numbers, which I mean is not a huge thing, but the following, like Toyota has 1.8 million followers. Amazon has 2.5 million followers.
Yeah.
And like, it's just such a discrepancy. And you can when you look at it, you can understand why, because Amazon is knocking it out of the park and not making it about themselves.
Exactly.
Like you said, you go through here and you don't see any, you go through Amazon's Instagram.
It's 50-50. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a 50-50 of their products versus posts with their customers /support /community / posts that have nothing to do with selling and pushing product.
Exactly.
And we've seen one post so far without a car.
Yeah.
On Toyotas. One.
It's crazy. Like it's just.
Yeah. That was a great case study there. So to kind of wrap up here, we got about 5 minutes left in the live stream. What is one takeaway, Adam, that you've seen, whether it's with any of these big corporate brands or any of our clients that we work with at Online Growth Systems, that is something that people could do today? If there's a post that somebody's going to post right after they watch this live stream, what should they post? What's going to get the best results?
I honestly think like, don't try and talk to everyone. So I think there's this really big push right now to show that we're all in this together and we're going to help each other out, which I think is great. But as we've noticed with that video that we played in the beginning, like it's not going to have a lot of traction. So what I would say is like, speak to your audience and have a really well-defined target market of who you want to speak to and the value that you're going to bring to them and how you can help them. And I would say don't, like if you're going to post stuff, when you post stuff, make sure that you're leaning more towards providing information and help more so than selling, especially right now. I think like when things turn around and things start to pick up a little bit, you can start to push more selling because people will be more willing to buy. But like right now, just be that support system for people. So think of posts that are going to be supportive and helpful for people.
Yes. I totally agree with that. You know, putting your customers first and putting community first and commerce second, ironically, will actually drive
exactly
commerce.
Yeah. And I think like, and I mean, you know, I think that's where you and I, like, where Online Growth Systems really helps out, is helping like get a really clear, consistent message for your target market and how do you stand out in today's market, and just be really resilient in what you're doing.
Right. My one tactical piece of advice for people watching, whether it's live here on the live stream or on the replay, is they can use user-generated content. So some people know what that is, some people don't. So I'm going to explain it. So user-generated content is content that you don't have to make from scratch. It is content that is generated from your customers or your users. A good example of that is a review on one of your products, or a testimonial, or even just a picture of your customer or your audience or your user, and showcasing that. You know what I mean? One thing that AdFed is doing right now, this might be a good time to publicly announce, Adam, that I've been nominated for 32 under 32. Woohoo!
Yes, that's awesome.
Yes,
Congratulations.
got on the list. But so one thing that they're doing that's really cool is they are featuring the different nominees on their social platforms. Why? Because there's no happy hour. There's no red carpet gala event, where everybody's in their tuxedos, taking pictures at the photo op, holding up the awards afterwards, drinking a champagne, popping corks, right? So what they're doing instead to kind of pay it forward to the nominees is they sent out a questionnaire last week, and it said like, what is your favorite thing about being in the Midwest, helping out with marketing and media and advertising, right? And it was like, what's your favorite, blah 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 blah, what's your favorite case study, favorite influencer, favorite story, right? And then then send us your headshot, right? So they're taking our headshots, they're featuring a little story about who you are, and then like they take out of the 10 different questions you answered, they'll pick one or two that were the most interesting, and then they'll feature that story on their social, right? And that's content that they didn't have to make from scratch. That's I don't know, what is there, like 100 nominees that made it to this round or something like that. It gets whittled down to the 32 that win 32 under 32. But that's 100 people. And that's 100 pieces of content that they were able to crowdsource from other people, right? And they were able to compile it, feature the best parts, and then share that on social media. And guess what happens when mine gets posted this week? What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to share that thing, right?
Exactly.
And then that's going to get them more exposure because they're going to be tapping into my audience, which they've currently never been tapped into before.
Yeah.
Right. So it's getting them exposed to other people. So if you're a business, maybe consider reaching out to your customers and say, hey, let's use Toyota as the example, because we were roasting them earlier. Toyota could say, let's reach out to our users or to our customers and say, send us your favorite picture of your most memorable road trip in your Toyota.
Yeah.
You know how cool that would be? Everybody, and then because what's everybody going to be doing this summer? They're going to be camping. Why? Because you can't go to events, you can't go to sports. The camping industry is just going to explode. Right? So a road trip is actually a great idea for a marketing campaign for Toyota, and say, like, they could show a little montage clip of families going on road trips. You know what I mean? And say, like, even though we can't, communities are physically apart, you know what I mean? We can, our families can be close together because, everybody's cooped up with their families. So what do you do when you're cooped up with your family and you can't go to concerts or something? You take a road trip, right?
Yeah.
And then guess what? They also get to show their product in there because, they've got the Toyota truck, with the tailgate open, and they're, looking out at this cool campground that they've, and they've got little homemade video, super raw and authentic with somebody's iPhone from, 10 years ago or whatever. And then that's the kind of content that is authentic, right?
Yeah.
And it's user generated and it's affordable for companies to make that kind of stuff. And in addition to the actual posting and the exposure you get online, you build a ton of rapport with your existing customers that are sending you that, right?
Yeah. And I think one last thought is, because this is something that you and I talk about a lot, especially right now with everything going on, is like, you can either be in the camp of, you can complain about what's happening, you can be really miserable about what's happening, and you can see everything that's against you. Yeah. And that, I don't that's not the path to success. You understand what's happening, but figure out how you can leverage it in a good way. I think you have so many conversations about that, about a lot of the discussions that we're hearing is that people are just so frustrated with what they can't do and how everything's changed so fast. But this is an amazing opportunity to go and do something and to create something and to really stand out in the marketplace.
Yes. Yeah. Above competitors, because like we showed in the montage at the beginning, every COVID-19 commercial ever, everybody's doing the same thing. They're following the same script. It's a cookie cutter ad, and people are getting, frankly, it's getting annoying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So stand out from the crowd, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Any final closing remarks here?
I'm trying to think. That was my big thing that I thought of when you're doing that. I think also when you do the user, the big thing is going back to the Toyota road trip, even if Toyota does not even have their product in the shoot, what people what you should be selling is the experience that you get when you buy the product or service, not the actual product or service itself.
Yes.
I think that's a huge thing. It's people are still going to associate that with everything with Toyota, of a road trip. To go take a road trip, we can rely on Toyota instead of this.
Do you remember what was the one photo that you and I actually stopped and said, "Oh, that's cool"?
It was a one with the it looked like they might have been tailgating or at an outdoor movie. The trunk was open with lights.
Yeah. Notice how that was the only one that made us stop,
pause,
and actually say, we were roasting them, and then midway through the roast, we went, "Oh, that's a cool."
That's nice. Oh, you go, right there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is another good one too, but this one really stood out visually. It's got Christmas lights.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer, and they've got a little fort, with the little old school sleeping bag and a guitar, right? Like you said, it's an experience, right?
Yeah.
Versus so many of these, well, now we're getting to more experiential, but so many of them were just like this.
Yeah, exactly.
It
is. I think there's a difference between go scroll down a little bit. There's so the one that's in the right by the mountains on the you saw right there. That's not a real experience. No, not a lot of people can actually I'm gonna drive my Toyota right here and take this picture.
I'm gonna take some chalk outside.
Exactly.
Shovel a little spot. Yeah.
That's not a realistic experience. Whereas the ones you had that with the can't be, the lights is realistic.
This one actually does look like a user generated content. That
it
looks like a
does.
legit, this isn't a shiny, there's gross yellow snow, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is real mountains. And talk about road trip, you know what I mean? There you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder what their comment was. Rugged doesn't cover it, right?
It is photo some by someone else. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. See, if you want to be featured, they're doing a call to action for user generated content. So they are actually trying to get user generated content. My rebuttal is that, man, if you've got a 1% ratio of that, and the rest of it is
you can tell
not.
the one that's like on the right above the light one. That's not user generated. No one's gonna take a picture of their car like that.
Right. Either that or it's like a pro photographer and they were really wanted to be featured, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's coming off as almost inauthentic, right? Like we were saying earlier. But yeah, so I just wanted to point it out that you made the point. You said the comment of selling the experience and not the product. This is an experience to me. This gives me nostalgia.
Yeah.
This gives me a sense of almost like a memory that I want to have. And that's what makes me want to buy a Toyota and grab a guitar and some Christmas lights and go out and have this experience. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, that concludes that concludes that concludes the roast of social media. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thank you.
You can follow us online. We're going to be making an announcement here soon about the brand, about our company and our brand. But in the meantime, go to onlinegrowthsystems.com if you want to subscribe to our Growthers Digest. It is a weekly newsletter that we send out showcasing content like we did today on the live stream of, we'll just simply, it'll be like a 2-minute read. Like you can skim it. You know what I mean? You don't even have to scroll. And, Adam and myself send out we'll do like a bad content, the roast of social media, and it'll show some Toyota truck, and then great example. And then it'll show some kind of experiential post, just little tips and tidbits of practical and tactical advice that you can implement in whether it's your marketing strategy or your business development strategy to help you grow. It's the name Online Growth Systems.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, so a lot of great content.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you. We'll probably be doing these periodically. So, and of course, if you want to know about the live streams ahead of time, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube and hit that little bell notification. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like our page and also hit the little notification button. So that way, when we go live, Facebook, your phone can send you a push notification that says, Online Growth Systems or Dick Polipnik's channel is going live, and you can tune in. And like the call to action says here at the bottom, we normally will take questions and feature you live. But today we kind of did a little bit something different. We wanted to showcase some social media. And if you're watching this on Twitter via Periscope or something, we can't see your comments, unfortunately, but feel free to follow us there as well. So and that's actually where we do a lot of our talk about user generated content, Adam. We double down on Twitter because that's how we come up with the titles for half of our YouTube videos. Is we'll just put out a poll on our Twitter and say, what do you think, title A or title B? And then whichever one our audience likes the most, that's what we'll use on our YouTube channel.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you next week.
See ya.